Check, 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 check. Check one, check two, check one, check two. I don't know if you turn the gain down or up. Check one, check two, check one, check two, check one. Okay, so let's just hold up a minute here. You can probably hear the staff working in the background. I'm still setting up a little bit. There's people trying to rest upstairs in the room. So we're in the lobby. And I think a lot of people need to rest. It's been a long 3 weeks. I know I slept in today. I don't think that was enough even. But that's okay. We got a job to do. So just hang in there, guys. We're going to be starting here soon. We got a lot to cover today. Right now I am making sure that I have my contacts for my senators real quick. Because today in stream we're going to be contacting the Ohio Senators, Sherrod Brown, and I'll find the number. I'm going to copy that. And then, what was his name? Rob Portman or something. Yeah, Rob Portman. Okay. Yeah, we want the Washington, D.C. No, we don't want email. Okay. Alright, I've got my senator's numbers copied on my phone, so I'm ready to call them when we get there. So 1 second, let me pull up my chat. I don't have any chat on my OBS open, so one moment here, let me look. So just hang tight, we're gonna get started here soon. We got a bunch to cover today. Good morning, Kyle. Or Carl. Good morning, Tom. Okay, we don't got time for trolls. Alright, so grab my coffee. Wait for a few more people to file in, and then we'll get started. Change the screen there. That's LA. Pudding. Yeah, I've been kind of busy, haven't I? Carl, you're reading some good news, listening to some economic reports. What have you been learning? We'll hang out just a minute here. We're gonna let more people file in. Again, yeah, good morning, Cheryl. I got here, I'll show it real quick. This meme right here came from someone in West Virginia. Let me look up her name real quick. I met her this morning. I told her I'd be using this. Crystal from West Virginia. Do you know Crystal from West Virginia, Cheryl? Well, hopefully we can meet in the future. Again, we're just we're waiting for people to file in. What do you guys think about this Chris Rock meme right here? Chris Rock smack meme everywhere in 30 minutes, the People's Convoy. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. It's hard to consume media when I'm out here. That's why I asked what you've been learning. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna put some umbrellas in my chat because we are still gonna be making freedom rain. So I'm just drinking some coffee, doing a little organizing while talking to my chat real quick. We're gonna let just a few more people file in. Again, we're in the lobby. You can probably hear the staff talking in the background. My Blue Yeti mic is kind of powerful. Ooh, sneak peek. California knows how to party. Okay, back to the screen. We'll let a couple more people file in. Nice. That's what's up, Cheryl. We're definitely going to be coming back to this area, I guarantee that. Look, these organizers are very passionate, and that you can tell they believe in this. You know, do not sway. Listen, these mandates, hold on. You know what? Let's just pull up this one right here. These mandates right here are ridiculous. This is what we're fighting right here. This is the same thing we're fighting in DC is what's going on in California. So we're going to keep the screen up for a second, but we do have a bunch more other screens today. But this one's going to be here for a while, so we're going to be referencing this quite a bit. Boom. Get the other nuke in there. Boom. Other nuke in there. Shake that screen. Boom. This is definitely a bombshell that's getting dropped on California right now. They're getting nuked with new legislation. I just can't believe what I'm seeing right here. All right, we're going to go back to this other screen. We're going to let some other people file in. If you guys want me to get started in the next minute, go ahead and put umbrellas in the chat. I'll go ahead and take the lead on that. If you guys want me to get started in the next minute, let's get some umbrellas in the chat because we're going to make freedom rain. yes, they are ready to be signed in law. They're going to be reviewing them in like a week. Alright guys, so look, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so it's confirmed we are going to Sacramento and we are going to LA. Okay, so I spoke about it a little bit last night. We are going to Sacramento and we are going to LA. I asked the question to Mike Landis. I was like, are we going to Sacramento or are we going to LA? He said both. So that is confirmed. I've kind of assumed that because there's a anti-mandate rally in LA on the 10th, and then there is the state capitol that we must address, which is right here. Okay, so you guys probably know, right, that California knows how to party. We'll go ahead and stay on the screen so that part goes by. Cheryl Patrick, yes, umbrellas in the chat. We're going to make freedom rain. Okay, so I don't know if the cart's gone or not, but we're going to move on. Okay, so here we go. All right, we are looking at Conduit and a gateway drug. All right, so when we talk about California being a mini CCP or a gateway or conduit to these other states, when they pass their laws, other people will probably follow suit. I gotta make sure I talk straight into my mic a lot. But so when California passes something, it's kind of like they're setting the bar because they have, I wish I would have put that graph on here. You know what? I'm going to go to my screen share. I'm going to pull it up. Screen share. Where is it at? Boom. Okay. So California has 39.51 million people. And, you know, honestly, we'll just pull this up real quick. A little sneak peek on what we're going to be looking at a little bit later. Let's go ahead and look this up. Population of USA. It's like 330. Oh, what? Last time I looked, it was 330 some million. So I guess it changed. I guess people are moving out of the United States by the millions, because I checked this statistic a while back, and it was like 330 plus million. I wanted to say 333-ish, but it looks like people are renouncing citizenship. But, you know, with the illegals that have poured into the country by the millions or hundreds of thousands, this number has probably gone up again, or equal to that of what it was before. So, anyways, Jersey J just texted me. He said, "Are you going to Cali?" Yes, I'm going to Cali. Hold on, I'm just gonna say tune into my live stream. Tune into my my live stream to find that out. What's the time stamp right now? What's the timestamp? Guys, help me out. What's the timestamp right now? Oof. I don't even know. Alright, so sorry, we're on a screen share right now. Alright, so Jersey J, yes, I'm going to California. Yes, sir. I must and I have to. The mission continues. This is just part of the mission. Jeez, you guys are going to have to deal with that buzz on my phone if it goes off or when it does. Alright, so we're going to exit that out, come back to OBS. You guys get ready. He said I can't right now. I'll text him back in a minute. Hold on. Oops. Sneak peeks. You guys are getting sneak peeks. Dang it, I'm such a noob. Okay, what were we on? We were on this one. Okay, so Conduit, right? Gateway drugs, or gateways, right? Or bridges. California being almost 40 million people, and the United States being let's just say 330 million. Okay, what's the math there? It's like an eighth of the population, right? So when we talk about California being a conduit or a gateway to the other states passing legislation on this, okay, I like this nuke better. These are straight. Each one of these is a nuke. It's an attack, in my opinion, on the American people. Each one of these is an attack on the American people, in my opinion. Like this is an extreme overreach. This is the most extreme mandates we've seen, or it's not even going to be a mandate at this time. They're trying to make it a law in California. Okay, and when we talk about California being a conduit, do you want these mandates coming to your state or your city or into your body, or making this law, or getting your medical records inspected without your consent, and then the public law enforcement are required to act on public health orders? So you've got the medical board again being deputized. We're going to be talking about this a lot. People are wondering why we're going to California. I don't know who's heard me speak on this. I'm going to actually test my stream real quick. Is my stream like buffering or anything? It's 40 million people in the United States being, let's just say 330 million. Okay, what's the math there? It's like an eighth of the population, right? So when we talk about California being a conduit or I think I need to turn my, I don't know, can I do that while I'm streaming? I'm going to turn my bitrate down, see if I can do that while I'm streaming. It'd be interesting if I could. Okay, so let's try it now. Law enforcement are required to act on public health orders. So you've got the medical. Sorry, we're going to hang out for a second. I got to test my stream. We're going to be talking about this a lot. People are wondering why we're going to California. I don't know who's heard me speak on this. I'm going to actually test my stream real quick. Is my stream like buffering or anything? It's 40 million people in the United States being, let's just say 330 million. Okay, what's the test, check. Right, so when we talk about California being a conduit or I think I need to turn my, I don't know, can I do that while I'm streaming? Okay, so we're going to continue talking for a little bit. I don't know if it helped or not, but requires all children to be vaccinated for the COVID-19 for all public and private schools. Law enforcement are required to act on public health orders. So you've got the medical. Sorry, we're gonna hang real quick. Is my stream like buffering or anything? It's 40 million people in the United States being, let's just say 330 million. Sorry, I know I'm kind of like a zombie right now. I'm testing my stream. Okay, so now it should be getting better. Continue talking for a little bit. I don't know if it helped or not, but requires all children to be vaccinated for. Yep, it didn't help. Okay, so we're gonna try to adjust this again. We're gonna try to go down just a hair more and see if that helps. Because it's got those GIFs in there, I think, that are creating a large influx of load. But I want them in there, so we're going to try to do what we can. Try to adjust this again. We're going to try to go down just a hair more. Sorry, we're going to do a live test right now. Because it's got those GIFs in there, I think, that are creating a large influx of load. But I want them in there, so we're going to try to do what we can. Check. 1, 2, test. Adjust this again. We're going to try to go down just a hair more. Sorry, we're going to do a live test right now. I think gifts in there, I think that are it still kind of glitches a little bit. Bear with me, guys. I might restart the stream and just start from scratch. We'll see how it acts. It's still kind of glitching a little bit. Check. 1, 2, test. Adjust this again. We're going to try to go down just a little Yeah, it's still glitching.
Restart the stream and just start from scratch.
Yeah, it still glitches every once in a while, especially like, let me try to like move around, do that.
Check. Test.
Create like a larger load or whatever, testing the stream.
Still kind of glitches a little bit.
What if I pull it down? I think it might be working.
Yeah, it's still glitching. Restart the stream and just start from scratch.
Just pull it
Still
down.
glitches every once in a while, especially like, let me try to like move around, do that. Check. Test.
Yeah.
Create like a larger load or whatever, testing the stream.
Okay, so I pulled it down just a little bit more. We're going to hang out for a little bit longer and see if that helps. I need to be on a screen with a lot of movement, so we're going to stay on this screen for a little bit. Or even, what about this one? Because this one's got 2 GIFs in it. So this was the one we're going to test. So shake.
Okay, so I pulled it down just a little bit more. We're going to hang out for a little bit longer and see if that helps. I need to be on a screen with a lot of movement, so we're going to stay on this screen for a little
Actually,
bit.
I think that helped. I think that helped a lot.
Or even, what about this one? This one's got 2 GIFs in it, so this was the one we're going to test. So, shake. Okay, so I pulled it down just a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's good. Perfect. I'm glad I could actually adjust that live for you guys. So we're going to California because California knows how to party. Yeah, baby. And again, for anybody just tuning in, we are going to California as far as, oops, my audio is cutting out. We're going to Sacramento and LA. Sacramento and LA. So that is confirmed. Yeah, baby. So when we were talking about California being a conduit, and earlier we checked out the population of California, which was like 39.52 million, and then, the total population of the U.S. being about 329.5 was the number. Yeah, photographic memory, I know. Toot. Anyways, so look, when you got like 1/8 of the country being mandated for all of these, that's very, very bad. Especially when you look down here and you see that anybody entering the state, that's the middle one, would require all employees to be vaccinated against COVID-19 in order to work in California. So that would include out-of-state contractors if they would like to get a contract in California. So now they're spreading their conduit or their gateway drug, right? Because it's a nasty set of laws that nobody should be injecting themselves with a vaccine, an experimental vaccine. So when we look at the definition of conduit, right? A lot of people think of conduit being referenced to electrical measures or procedures or wires or circuit boards or whatever you want to use. But it's funny, I had to click more information on this definition to find the one we're pointing at right now. And what's even funnier is the one that popped up was in the middle of 1 and 2. So it was interesting, but it reads a person or organization that acts as a channel for the transmission of something. So when we're talking about California being a conduit, you're welcome, Mike Landis, for the word you were looking for last night on stage. I think it's a good reference. I think it's better than and more articulate than using a gateway or even gateway drug. But we're going to look at that definition too. While not itself is addictive, may lead to the use of other addictive drugs. Anyways, we're talking about it like a gateway. gateway drug, I used this definition here because these people are getting addicted to ideology. They're getting tribalized, and it's like how attention is a drug, and people, they're afraid to not be getting attention, or if they step out of line from where the attention is, they don't want to be shunned from the attention. They want to be involved. And a lot of these people, they see all these robots online and think that that's what they should be doing, when in fact all these people haven't even looked into these topics, and they move on to Chris Rock getting smacked by Will Smith in 30 minutes. Thank you, Crystal from West Virginia, for this meme. Right, so we need to be focusing on freedom rather than Chris Rock getting smacked. Okay, these guys are actors. These guys are actors. They're paid to act. Not saying that there wasn't any emotion behind that. That's not what I'm saying. That could be the case. But here's the thing. When we talk about paid actors within these movements, and we see the smoke screens in the media as it is, right? Fake news everywhere, okay? Then we need to be very careful about where we spend our attention, right? Because we've got some extreme mandates coming through that we don't want in California, and we don't want in the rest of the country. Like these are the most extreme, and they're not even going to be mandates. If this goes through, it's going to be law in California, unconstitutional law, that they are requiring law enforcement officers to violate our constitutional rights. Should I read them again in the chat? Let's look at the chat. Chat, should I read all these for anybody that doesn't like to read? Should I read all these again? Oh, where's my chat at? Come on, baby. $40 million out of 330 is 12%, not 8. Perfect. Thank you for that correction. Yeah, because I should have just pulled it up on my phone and did that. Thank you. Normally when I have a question, I just look it up immediately, kind of like I did live earlier, as far as finding the numbers of the exact population. But so yeah, thank you for that. Stream is perfect. Thank you, Leah B. Fry sent you. Hey, Patriot. It just started not being choppy. Cool. Yeah, I lowered the bit rate to like 2100. I think it has something to do with the Wi-Fi, and then also maybe I have other programs running in the background. I do have some interesting clips to pull up that are loaded up on YouTube, so stay tuned for that. We've got actually a lot to cover. Let's see what this see if that lags. That's a really stroby one. So we're going to California, guys. We need everybody in California to stand up, all 40 million of you.
Maybe I have other programs running in the background. I do have some interesting clips to pull up that are loaded up on YouTube, so stay tuned for that. We've got actually a lot to cover. Let's see what this
oh, that actually looks really good.
It's a really stroby one.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we're going to California. We need California to stand up. Okay? California, stand up. This is crazy what we're looking at right here. Okay? I'm going to read them again. Requires all children to be vaccinated for COVID-19 for all public and private schools and daycare. Will require proof of vaccination status in order to enter public and private businesses. Allows 12-year-olds and older to consent to vaccines without parental consent or knowledge. Requires schools to continue testing, tracing, and quarantine. Would require all employees to be vaccinated against COVID-19 in order to work in California. I skipped one. Would require law enforcement officials to enforce public health orders. Would require changes to California immunization registry. Would reclassify sharing of COVID-19 misinformation by doctors as unprofessional conduct and resulting in disciplinary action. I wonder why they like shortened the word doctors, but they spelled the whole misinformation out there with quotes. You think people would skip by that and be like, oh, this is just doctors that are getting their medical opinions silenced. Oh, no big deal. All right. It's the misinformation. It's the big word there. We got to pay attention to the key words, right? Right. So I wonder why they abbreviated doctors, because doctors are the most important part of all this COVID-19 problem, right? We need to be listening to the scientists and the doctors that are handling and understand this virus, right? Not the, I wish I would have kept that one Fauci page up here. I would have did that. It's all right. I'm going to go back to my screen share and I'm going to show them again. All right. So this is the first one. Okay. Quick and devastating published takedown of its premises sent on October 8th. Okay. And then on October 9th, right? October 9th, they're publishing articles saying things like deadly delusions when referring to natural immunity. So, look. Where are we? We need the doctors to be able to speak up. And then when you look down and you see that doctors are going to be getting their licenses taken away, what does that mean? Okay, what is the disciplinary action? Probably going to be licenses taken away, fines, slander in the media that will destroy your reputation. Okay, so like if you do not align with what they say is correct when they're sitting there obviously plotting a published takedown of its premises, right? When Fauci and his little cronies are like talking about this amongst themselves, like obviously controlling the narrative, right? Obviously trying to control the narrative when talking about natural immunity, but they try saying herd immunity. Like, I mean, yes, herd immunity is a term we use, but it means natural immunity is the basis of that. So, it's fake news. It's fake freaking news. Okay, so when we read things like would reclassify sharing of COVID-19 misinformation by doctors as unprofessional conduct resulting in disciplinary action, that is nutty. Nut-y. All caps. All caps. Lots of exclamation marks. That's crazy. I can't believe that we're facing this right now. I'm going to California. California knows how to party. Okay, but you know what? We're going there so we can stand up for our rights, right? We're not giving up the fight. People think, they're leaving Hagerstown, they're giving up. No. This is part of the fight. This is the reason why we're fighting, right? The little mini CCP on the West Coast over there, state of California, they they are violating our constitutional rights. All right, and it's time we remember what this country was founded on. Remember beautiful people like Bob Marley and stand up for our rights. Again, we're not giving up the fight. We're standing up for our rights. Okay, our constitutional rights, the highest law, the highest authority in this country. All right, so this is what we're facing again, right? California, we're going to need all the love we can get when we get there. All right, so let's talk about some more fake news. Okay, you guys might remember the podcast I did about the Daily Beast. The Daily Beast is claiming that the People's Convoy gives up. We will leave DC after, the People's Convoy gives up. We'll leave DC after 3 weeks of doing absolutely nothing, with a little emoji there that says bye-bye. Oh, we'll be seeing you, buddy. We'll be seeing you. Right now, we're on our way to California. All right, bud. And, you look at his articulation, and it's just disgusting. The guy is a foul creature. But here's some decent reporting, right? At least it's objective from the Hill. Right, so let's focus on the positive things. Right, they're quoting Mike Landis. I'm going to go ahead and read this, to the best of my ability. I'm not the best reader, right? But anyways. The People's Convoy Trucker Protest Group on Sunday announced that it would head to California in the coming weeks to protest COVID-19 mandates. They're following daily excursions in and around Washington, D.C. area. I think stopping those is more important at this point. in time than getting the emergency declaration repealed, because that's already in place, and we need to stop stuff like these bills from getting in place or passed into law, I'll add. Organizer Mike Landis said after reading a list of measures that he said were pending in California, the Herald Mail reported, otherwise the rest of us that don't live in California are going to end up subject to the same situation. So we'll come back and read the rest of that in 1 second. But yeah, Conduit, California, 40 million people. Okay. The group echoed the sentiment, though, through a statement on their website. If passed, these bills would set the stage for other states to introduce similar laws. We know that what starts in California spreads to other blue and purple states and potentially at a federal level, the group said. This affects everyone. And I will say that I agree. That last quote is extremely, extremely, extremely important. When we talk about California being a conduit and a gateway to these other blue and purple states, it's so true. It's so true, because they're one of the largest populated states in the whole country. Okay? And not only that, but they're the little mini CCP. And they need to step down. We're going to be hammering on these topics, guys. We're going to be hammering on them. You're probably going to hear me say the same things, but that's okay, because we got to get this message out. I don't know who's heard it. I don't know who needs to hear it. But, why do I call the California the mini CCP? Because that's where all the imports come from China and Russia. They come in on the West Coast over there. So that's why I refer to them as that. Because it's not China that's the problem. It's the CCP, right? So I don't really like the term China virus, although I understand why he says it. Because it's not the Chinese people, it's the CCP. California, we need you to stand up, citizens. We know that there's been people moving out of California. So we know that there's a lot of people that don't agree with that. So The Hill, thank you for your objective article. If passed, these bills set the stage for other states to introduce similar laws. We know that what starts in California spreads to other blue and purple states and potentially at a federal level, the group said. This affects everyone. That's such a good quote. Such a good quote. Much better reporting than the Daily Beast. Okay, so now we have Paul Alexander, all right? We're going to go back to this for a second. Actually, we're going to go to the screen share. We're going to be pulling up YouTube. And we're going to watch this clip real quick.
Then, with this non-sterilizing, non-neutralizing, suboptimal vaccine, we keep vaccinating people. This will never end. It is not the virus at this point. We are trying to educate the government officials. It is the vaccine that is driving the emergence of the variants. And we must stop this vaccine. It has shown itself to not be... The vaccine is not safe. It was not properly tested, particularly for children. The parents need to understand, as I close, parents need to understand that AZAR and they gave the vaccine developers and all involved liability protection.
Yes, I am reading your chat, Lisa. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. Did everybody hear the audio from that video? Well, I need to get some input there. Did everybody hear the audio of Dr. Paul Alexander speaking? Did everyone hear the audio well on Dr. Paul Alexander's clip that we just watched? If we need to rewatch that and I need to turn up the volume or something, I will. Hey, Leah B, thank you. We're going to need all the love. Guys, I need feedback on whether or not that audio was clear. We're going to go ahead and play it again.
With this non-sterilizing, non-neutralizing, suboptimal vaccine. We keep vaccinating people, and this will never end. It is not the virus at this point. We are trying to educate the government officials. It is
Hold on, guys, I gotta step away.
It's driving the emergence of the variants, and we must stop this vaccine. It has shown itself to not be. The vaccine is not safe. It was not properly tested, particularly for children. The parents need to understand, as I close, parents need to understand that Azar and they gave the vaccine developers and all involved liability protection. Then, with this non-sterilizing, non-neutralizing, suboptimal vaccine, we keep vaccinating people, and this will never end. It is not the virus at this point. We are trying to educate the government officials. It is the vaccine that is driving the emergence of the variants, and we must stop this vaccine. It has shown itself to not be. The vaccine is not safe. It was not properly tested, particularly for children. The parents need to understand, as I close, parents need to understand that Azar and they gave the vaccine developers and all involved liability protection.
Okay, so we're gonna kind of go back to a certain spot, and we'll come back to that video. We're gonna run back to OBS. Let me pull my mic back. Oop. Okay, sorry about that. Boom. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is Dr. Paul Alexander that we just listened to. Okay, and this is Wikipedia's definition of Paul Alexander. He is a researcher, right? He helped the Trump administration in the advisory team, or however you want to put that. But the reason I put this up here, right, when we're talking about, fake news and D-bags like Zachary, right, and then there's some decent stuff out there as well. You just got to sift through it. But I'm looking at the articulation of Wikipedia now, because I've been noticing Wikipedia has been doing some really, they've been doing hit jobs on people that their lobbyists want them to, right? Because if we look down here, the very last little statement here, they just had to throw in a little jab, right? Within the Trump administration, Alexander advocated for a strategy of mass infection of the public with COVID-19 to build herd immunity. He sought to muzzle federal scientists and public health agencies to prevent them from contradicting the Trump administration's political talking points. Wow. So we're going to go ahead and screen share back. Okay, so let's remind everyone really quick who is actually doing that, right? Mr. Francis Collins and Anthony Fauci, Lane Cliff, Lawrence Tabak, and a bunch of other grayed out names. Okay, because right there they're talking about quick and devastating published takedowns, and then right here the next day, look at that, they're publishing those devastating published takedowns. So don't trust Wikipedia. Do not trust Wikipedia. They are fake news, just like the rest of them. So yes, we just listened to Dr. Paul Alexander, and oops, excuse me. He talks about what point was I going to make there? The Trump administration, and how they use Trump as ammo, right? Because they're trying to. Because I asked today with Julius, what do you think caused this indoctrination? Oop. I asked today with Julius, what do you think caused this indoctrination? And we're going to go ahead and go back to my screen share, and I will play you what Today with Julius had to say about that. So listen to Today with Julius right now.
What do you think caused that type of indoctrination? Do you think it was the fear of dying?
No, I'm going to say Trump. Here's why I say Trump.
You're probably right.
Here's the reason why I say Trump. When Trump got in office, now mind you, before Trump, things were already bad. But because Barack Obama was there, they was like, oh, black man, everything's all good. We get to chill out. my president is black, right? All that bullcrap. When Trump got in and said, make America great again, everything changed. Everything. They was like, oh, white supremacists, look at the crowd, this and that.
Well, the border, too, is another reason why they started saying, like, the racism comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go on.
And they still got that wrong.
They still got that wrong. All right, so let me pull my mic back around. I decided to put my mic towards my computer when I was playing. So that's what Today with Julius had to say about the Trump administration and why people are getting indoctrinated. And, you know, just the news we've seen in the media over the last 5 years. I was going to try to select those words, but I forgot I was in the OBS. Just what we've seen over the media over the last 5 years regarding Trump, and then you look at like the Wikipedia page of Paul Alexander, and they throw in those little jabs like Paul Alexander sought to muzzle federal scientists and public health agencies to prevent them from contradicting the Trump administration's political talking points. Okay, so they had to add that in there, right? But what was Trump advocating for? Hydroxychloroquine, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm actually almost like 99% sure that China had hydroxychloroquine as part of their entire country's treatment plan or response to COVID. So, and that's where it came from, right? They should know the most about it. But here, they're trying to push what they're doing onto the people that are trying to waken up the rest of the people. So they're claiming that our group of people are trying to muzzle federal scientists and public health agencies to prevent them from contradicting the Trump administration's political talking points. But yet, we've got the actual source of the trying to muzzle scientists coming from Fauci, right? Coming from Fauci. And then also, let's go back to OBS and get rid of that screen there. And then also, hold on a second. Also, this California legislation they're trying to pass, because if you look right here, it says would reclassify sharing of COVID-19 misinformation by doctors, the abbreviated doctors from earlier. Why would they abbreviate doctors? Why don't they spell it out, right? But because they spelled out misinformation. Anyways, would reclassify sharing of COVID-19 misinformation by doctors as unprofessional conduct resulting in disciplinary action. Now, deputizing the medical boards in the next bulletin authorizes medical board investigators to inspect businesses, including patient records. And then you jump back up to the top one of would require law enforcement officials to enforce public health orders. So when I talk about deputizing the medical boards, that's why, because they're linking, like they're granting the access to be able to give those medical boards not only the authority to get people arrested, but they also give them, in the second to last bulletin, the authority to inspect businesses, including patient records, without your consent. So, wow. This is bad. Yeah, I try to stay on track with my message, okay? Like, chat, guys, I love you, right? What do you want me to say? Hold on, what do you got? I'll read through my chat real quick for you. I love you. All right. Better, awesome, thanks you. Volume lows, repeat a couple times. Awesome. Hey, Stinky Farms. I know why your farm is stinky. Just saying. All right, Mike. People with common sense will never understand the liberal mind because the liberal mind does not make sense. It's free tax, more mandate, vax, open border, close oil fields, buy from Russia. So, you know, I think what it kind of boils down to is a lot of people haven't organized their thoughts on these issues or taken the time to have these conversations. They don't know exactly how to articulate it. You know, Some of the reasons why I pick a topic on a day and I hammer that topic down for that day is to become better at my articulation and gain more information. And I've been hammering on the contacting your representatives, and even yesterday I learned something that I needed to add as far as certified mail and delivering these notices in person, so that we can hold them accountable with receiving our message, on when the actual senator received the message. These little receptionists, that's not a good verification, but I am going to mention today that they are being recorded. Okay, Ohio is a one-party consent state, so when contacting my representatives today, I'm going to be live. That's right, you heard me correctly. I'm going to be contacting my senators live today on camera, and they're going to be aware that they are getting recorded, and you guys can hear what I have to say or how I word my message when I contact my senators. So stay tuned for that. We will do a question and answer as we go. Hey, God bless Quebec. Because I'm an open book. Like, if you guys bring up something that's really relative to what I'm talking about, or have something that is on topic, like, let's chat, right? Because I'm not the all-knowing being, right? I have a lot to learn. I'm young. Like, all I used to do is play video games and party and chase girls, and I went to renewable energy school when I was like 25. So and that's about when I started getting involved into politics. I apologize about the sweeper. I am in the lobby of the hotel because people were sleeping in the room I was in. So this kind of matches the sweeper. Let's hang out on this one. I'm gonna go get some more coffee real quick. If you guys have any questions, actually we'll go here and we'll do that. No, go ahead and ask me questions now. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some more coffee, and I will come back and answer a few questions, and we'll get back into some more of what we got to share with you guys today. Honestly, what I'm going to do in the meantime is if nobody's read this, go ahead and read that. What up? I'm back. Get my headphones on here. Again, I apologize about the sweeper in the background. I am in the lobby of this hotel, and this chair is going to be squeaky, so, or maybe not. I did better that time. Yeah. Let me see if I can turn my gain down. Oh, no, she just stopped sweeping. I think she's just sweeping the rugs out there. So. Ooh, that's still really hot. That's from this morning. It's 1 p.m. here. So I'm going to answer Jersey Jay's question in my thing. I think he was a little upset that we were going to California last night. So Jersey Jay, if you're watching, stay humble, brother. Look, we got to do this. if you need to reread those right there, please do so. Okay. Now is not the time to be neutral. Just saying. All right, guys. So I'm gonna read through my chat real quick. So if you guys, which screen do I want? This one? Oh. We'll go back to this one, because this is the reason why we're going to California, and people just need to just read these as much as possible. All right, so any questions in the chat? How do you feel about the incoming New World Order they are forcing upon us? Well, that's pretty evident, being that I'm here fighting to end that type of behavior. I mean, that's why I call California the mini CCP as well, because I do see that type of tribalization happening. It's all about it's the technology. It's what's bringing me to your house or your car or wherever you are. It's that technology, right? That's bringing that type of logic and democracy, or communism. I'm sorry. Sub just bought you a gimbal. Nice. That's beautiful. I actually bought a gimbal yesterday too from a sub. The shout out to We Paint It, by the way. Thank you for your donation. So yeah, I mean, he's sending me. So I apologize. I need to take my anyways. So more questions. I hope that answered that. What you say about Biden saying Putin shouldn't be in power, LOL. Well, I think that Biden shouldn't be in power. So I think that's a very hypocritical statement if he doesn't realize that he's not fit for office. So thank you for your question, Hoku. California had the 6th largest economy in the world. That's interesting. I didn't know that. All right. So, anyways, earlier we were talking. All right, let's get started again. We were talking about Mr. Paul Alexander. All right, I'm going to catch people up. In that last statement there, they said that Paul Alexander sought to muzzle federal scientists and public health agencies to prevent them from contradicting the Trump administration's political talking points. And then we just watched. Do you guys want to listen to Today with Julius on that again? Either way. First off, let's just move on to this one right here. This is Pierre Kory. This is about to be Pierre Kory speaking.
You know, if ivermectin efficacy were known, vaccine hesitancy would skyrocket. They would not be able to vaccinate, let alone the EUA that the vaccines sit on. They couldn't have an EUA if you had an effective treatment. And then you talk about these new drugs that they're trying to propagate on people. Like
that's the main thing, guys.
COVID, the monoclonal antibodies.
You can't have an EUA if there's not already an effective treatment. So they demonize
I've never, if you look at the history.
So, yeah, exactly. Not only did they demonize ivermectin, but they demonized hydroxychloroquine as well. And that's one of the things that Paul Alexander was recommending. Oops, let me turn my mic back around. Paul Alexander was recommending hydroxychloroquine, I do believe, or suggesting it as an off-label use for preventative measures to the treatment of COVID-19. And like Pierre Kory just said, if there's not a pre-existing treatment, then there is no, or if there is a pre-existing treatment, then there can be no emergency use vaccine or no emergency use authority implemented for those measures. So why was hydroxychloroquine, which China used for their countrywide response to COVID-19, why was that demonized in the United States? Why was ivermectin demonized in the United States? Because without a current treatment, there is no emergency use authorization. Okay, so we have to be very, 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 very cognizant of that. Whew. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play for you guys again today with Julius on what he thinks caused this indoctrination. Because I think he's spot on, and I think you guys could benefit from hearing this again.
What do you think caused that type of indoctrination? Do you think it was the fear of dying?
No, I'm gonna say Trump. Here's why I say Trump.
You're probably right.
Here's the reason why I say Trump. When Trump got in office, now mind you, before Trump, things were already bad. But because Barack Obama was there, they was like, oh, black man, everything's all good. We get to chill out. You know, my president is black, right? All that bullcrap. When Trump got in and said, make America great again, everything changed. Everything. They was like, oh, white supremacists, look at the crowd, this and that.
Well, the border, too, is another reason why they started saying, like, the racism comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go on.
And yet they still got that wrong.
He is a feisty one, man. He's spot on too. I like Julius. I like Julius a lot. I think his heart is definitely in the right spot, man. You cannot have. I mean, you just can't be fake and have those snappy responses like he's got. But this is fake news. Zachary Petrizzo is a fake news for sure. Fake news. The Hill. Thank you for your objective article. Go ahead and pause that and read that if you haven't. So I love Paul Alexander, Dr. Lock 'em Up, and you probably hear me screaming quite a bit out there and just don't realize it's me. But I get her done. I need a megaphone. I really do. I want a megaphone because it really can serve my voice. But instead, speaking of fake news, we've got Chris Rock getting smacked everywhere in 30 minutes of him getting smacked, and the People's Convoy should be the one smacking both of these individuals, even though Will Smith is the one represented as the People's Convoy in this meme. Shout out to Crystal from West Virginia for this meme earlier this morning. But you know what? Look, these mandates are so crazy. This needs to be the focus of everyone's attention. But yeah, they still put sleight of hand right out there. It's funny that he was getting Chris Rock got a hand to the face, right? So they're, hey, look over here. Now we're gonna, I don't know if I can get in the. Now we're gonna do some. We're gonna do some stuff over here. Hey, look over here. Look over here. Hello, everyone in the chat. I'm going to read some of your comments real quick. Yes, it's a distraction. Definitely, Hoku. It's a distraction. It's just like what they did with Ukraine. As soon as the People's Convoy started rolling around DC, they switched up the narrative real quick. But now is the time to get up, stand up for our rights, right? Just because we're going to California does not mean that we are giving up. Don't give up the fight. Stay true to the cause. These overreaches and these powers, if you will, that are trying to control us, whether it be at a governmental level or a one world order level, it's real. And if you don't see it, you're blind. Read. If you don't believe me, Read what's on your screen right now. Go ahead. I'm gonna drink some coffee while you read. I'll wait. I'm gonna read my chat while you read that. I don't give a crap about Hollywood either. You think it's a fake slap? Actors be acting. Yeah, that's a funny one, Spicy. Yeah, I was kind of saying the same thing. Like, we talk about paid actors, and these guys are literally paid actors. I mean, who was it that did the thing for President Biden's 1 year anniversary? Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, and that meme that was floating around about trust in government or something like that. Oh, the people lost, or oh yeah. It was like the government lost all its credibility, so it decided to borrow some of mine. That's what they're doing right now with the media. So, as Bob Marley would say, it's time to stand up for our rights and not give up the fight. Thank you, California, for opening your arms to us. We'll be seeing you soon. And again, for anybody that hasn't heard, we're going to be going to LA, which is this little picture here, and Sacramento. There is a anti-mandate rally in LA, I believe, on the April 10th or April 11th. Fact check me on that. Can we get that answered in the chat real quick? What day is the anti-mandate rally in LA? So while somebody works on that, actually, you know what? I can look it up. Hold on, I'll look it up. Screen share. Boom. It's nice being at a laptop. I'm not like rolling around DC or anything.
Oh yeah? What made her think that?
I know, right? She's like, is Jake okay? I was like, he's fine.
It's fine. I had no problem.
Right.
I'm not the one with the fucking problem.
I said, he's fine. Fine. It shouldn't be too bad with something.
I don't think this is the right one. It's like March 29th. Oh, it was published March 29th. Wait a second. Okay, so this might give me the information I'm looking for. What? No, this can't be it. I heard, and even first responders. Mike Mattingly, if you're watching this, where do I find this information? Can anybody help me find this? When is the anti-mandate rally in California or Los Angeles, to be specific? Specific. I'm doing that on purpose, by the way. Oh my gosh. And oh my gosh. Does anybody know when this this rally is in California? Oh my gosh. Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about when that's articulation. Use your tools to specify a time. Oh, see, I'm such a noob. See, I thought that me doing... How do I use my tools? Oh. I've heard more than one person talking about this, and they come from trusted sources. So I don't know where to find this information. I might have to like look on Facebook. I bet you like post it in like a Facebook group or something. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to go to my Facebook and look. I'll get back to you guys later. But I'm almost certain that something is going on. Do you guys want to watch either of these again? Did anybody miss any of these? We had Dr. Alexander speaking, and we had this is Pierre. What was it again? Pierre Kory. That's right. We had Pierre Kory, Dr. Paul Alexander, and today with Julius's clip. Says it totally Facebook group, People's Convoy, California, or something like that. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can get on my Facebook real quick. Thank you, Josh, for that info. We'll see. I figured it was probably like a Facebook group or something. This is like my second account. That's alright. Hi, Connor. Anyways. Where's Josh's comment again? Josh. Yeah, so I have to be part of this group to see it. Let's go back. Maybe that's... Do they have like a subcategory in here?
All the drive and cooler, everything?
It's April 5th. Are you sure? That's my birthday, by the way.
All the dry
April
and
5th.
freezer, everything?
Alright, so... I need help finding the date that in LA that they're planning that rally. Let's go back to OBS. It's going to be a mirror for a second. Alright, so guys, I'm going to be calling my rep now. You guys are gonna hear what I have to say to them, and we're gonna put them on record via this camera, or at least put their assistant on record. So let's see here. I think this one was Robert Portman. I talked to his assistant yesterday. He seemed like a young fellow. I put Portman. Oops, that's a typo. Shh, don't tell him. I love ham and pineapple on pizza.
Hi, this is U.S. Senator Rob Portman. You've reached our Washington, D.C. office, which is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 in the morning until 6 p.m. If you have a question for us or a comment regarding current issues of interest, please leave your name, telephone number, email address, or mailing address, along with your question or comment, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. You may also wish to visit our website, portman.senate.gov. There you can contact us by email or find out more about the issues I'm working on behalf of Ohio. Thanks so much for your call, and have a great day.
Hello, Rob Portman. My name is Alex Glasgow. That is AlexGlasgow. My email is, because you are live, Ohio is a one-party consent state, so I am contacting you on record. This conversation or this voicemail is being recorded, and I am calling you to end all mandates. I would like to know your position on ending all the mandates, ending the state of emergency, restoring the Constitution to the forefront of the COVID-19 response, and I want accountability for all of the violations to our Constitution regarding the response to COVID thus far. And I am requesting and demanding your position on this, and we are demanding the end of all mandates. I expect to hear with you within 30 to 37 days. The 30 days is the legal mark there for contract law and contractual agreement under notice and opportunity. The extra 7 days is a courtesy 7 days for you to receive this message. You can email me your response, like I said before, with my email, and we look forward to hearing from you. So there's one, I don't know, like I'm reading off of a paper or anything, but good enough, right? All right, so let's call, we're sharpening our tools every time we do this, okay? So we're organizing our thoughts too. So let's go ahead and call the next guy. Sharon Brown from Ohio. I think I put his number in here. If I didn't, I have it on my clipboard. Let's see if I saved it, though. If I didn't, I'm just going to make a contact for it so I don't have to. Sharon Brown. Looks like I didn't make a contact yet, so let's go ahead and just make a contact for Sharon Brown. I'm making a contact right now. Oops. Clipboard. Boom. If you guys aren't saving contacts in here to make it easier for yourself, you need to be doing that because we're supposed to be calling our senators every single day. Okay, so just go ahead and make you a quick contact. It'll take 2 seconds. All right, that way you can call them every day. Safe. I've been looking it up and I just came up with this idea and I think it's way better. So let's call Senator Sharon Brown. Hope his at least his secretary answers the phone.
Hi, this is Senator Sherrod Brown. Thank you for calling my office.
That's quick.
Please listen carefully to the following options so that we can best assist you. If you'd like to leave me a message or comment on a legislative issue, please press 1. Thank you for your call today. I appreciate your taking the time to let me know your views that matter most to you and to the state of Ohio. To serve you better, please be sure to include the spelling of your first and last name, your email address, your phone number, and your Ohio zip code at the beginning of your message. You may also leave your full mailing address if you like. For more information, or if you wish to send me an email, please visit my website at brown.senate.gov. That's BROWN, brown.senate.gov. Thank you so much for your call.
Hello, Sharon Brown. My name is Alex Glasgow, and I'm calling you today to end all mandates, end the Emergency Powers Act / National Emergencies Act, and we are demanding accountability for the response to COVID-19 and all the mandates that have been violating our constitutional rights. The suppression of information, the suppression of doctors. We want accountability for all of this, okay? And I am recording this voicemail here, okay, for record and proof that I did contact you and what we are demanding, okay, and I expect a response, demanding a response within 30 days, or you'll be under contractual agreement through notice and opportunity, contract law, to agreeing to my demands and the demands of your constituents, okay? So we're really hoping you're on board with this. I don't know if you've looked at the law, the mandates they're trying to make law in California, but we do not want that spread across this country, and it's now or never. We need all the patriots we can get, and I hope you're a patriot. Thank you, and I'm expecting a response at, I have to mute my audio because like this is being live streamed / recorded. Thank you, and have a good day. That's how it's done, I guess. Right? We need to be sending like certified letters and stuff to you. That way we know they read it. Under the contract law, you have to like they have to have read the message, and you have to be able to prove that they received your message in order to start that timeline or that countdown of time before contract law through notice and opportunity and contractual agreement begins to take place. So, with that said, California, we're coming for you. I hope we get all the love we can from California, because as we were talking about before, California can be a conduit to these other states passing legislation just like California is trying to do. Okay, and if anybody needs a refresher on those, read them again, say them out loud, try to remember them, and spread this tyranny and let people know that this tyranny is going on, I should say. You know, spread the awareness of this tyranny. That's why we're going to be driving across the country. I wonder if I can add a thing live here. Give me a second. I can do this. Nice. Hold on. I'm gonna add something because I think it's funny. Uh-oh, I can't find it. It's probably on my... No. I know where it's at. Hold on. Again, I'm just... Oh, something that's out. In a folder on my desktop, I should say. I think, right? Maybe it's not... Where is this thingy thing? Where could it be? Interesting. I feel like I saw it earlier. Oh, yeah, here it is. I skipped over it. Boom. California, we're on the way, bud. gonna plow through these mandates. All those cars are the mandates that the convoy is gonna be plowing through. Fake news is what you're gonna try to spin that, by the way. That's okay, because California knows how to party, and we need to get up and stand up for our rights. Just because we're going to California does not mean we're giving up again. And oops. All right, so what do you guys think? Let me go back to my chat. Has anybody called their reps today? Has everybody called their reps today? If you haven't called them, do so. Hopefully I could help provide a little bit of insight on how I talk to them, although I probably didn't do a perfect job. Danielle, thank you for your consideration. I think that I'm just trying to do the best I can, guys. Like, this stuff needs to be addressed in certain ways, and you have to, like, that's why I wanted to start a podcast, because I had the opportunity to, like, show the fake news and then show the good news. And then show the good news, right? We like to focus on the good news rather than the bad. So thank you, Big D, for the sub. United Animal Industries way to rock the message. You're owning it. So proud. God bless you. Thank you so much. And United Animal Industries, I do need to talk to you. So have, like, Fry or somebody shoot you my number, and then shoot me a text. Don't try to call. Shoot me a text and let me know who you are. God's Girl in the USA, thank you so much, Alex. You're the only one showing that bill over and over. Thank you so much. Love it. Love y'all and praying for you. You want to see it again? Boop, boop. There it is. Just for you. Actually, no, for everybody. I'm sorry. But you did appreciate me showing those over and over again. So that one got brought back to the main screen because of you. Big Dog, what was it, the great example? I'm just curious on what it was that you appreciated that I did. That way maybe I can hone in on it and do something similar. No matter where you are, you can call and demand a response so they go on record. Thanks, Alex. Love you, man. Hey, appreciate that. Part of getting them on a record and starting that contractual agreement through notice and opportunity is making sure that it's verified that these people have received the message. If it's not verified that they received the message, they could just say, "Oh, I didn't read it. I didn't get it. Restart the 30 days," and then they're just going to prolong it. Kind of maybe what I want to do is maybe I could get, like, a team together and we could just, like, start certified letters and just, like, figure out a way to just mass spam certified letters. If anybody has any ideas on how we can get fundraising for mass certified letters, I think they're probably like $2-3 a piece, but we need to be doing that every day. But we would need a team to be dedicated to that. Hopefully maybe I can get the organizers on board with that. I think when I first got here, they just thought I was some hippie with no brains or something, but I don't know. I'm just teasing them. I don't know. I just, look, I got a lot to offer, okay? And it's time that we buckle down, dig our heels in, and get to work. I've been out here working. I got a job to do. Yeah, I'm not out here partying. I'm not. I'm getting shit done, and I'm doing my best. Whew. And I need more sleep. This is the only thing that's kept me alive is coffee. Wow, we've got 563 watching me over at Fry. Fry's the man. Seriously. He needs a nap too, by the way. So guys, if he's like not streaming for 8 hours, 12 hours, probably because he's mowing the grass or sleeping, okay? Because this man has been putting in overtime for a month. And somebody put a little bird in my ear and said, hey, look, like, we've spent too much time just like not really hammering on certain things that we could have, but that's okay, you know. And the way I put it was, we are sharpening our tools, and we're learning, and we're organizing, and we're getting our thoughts collected, and we have been meeting with our senators, so that's good. We do need that bipartisan appeal, so we need to continue contacting our senators, particularly our Democratic ones, and holding our Democratic representatives accountable, because the Senate already voted on the ending of the Emergency Powers Act. So we need the bipartisan appeal from the Democrats, who all voted no. So okay, I'll give a wrench to him. Or her, or whoever it is. But yeah, United Animal Industries. Do you remember that one time way back in the day when you wrote at my chat and I like yelled out to Mike or Brian Brazzi and was like, hey, do we have to ask for a response? And he was like, well, you can ask for one, but it doesn't mean they're going to give it to you. We've came a long way since then, brother or sister or whoever you are. That was like a couple of weeks ago, and you know, I'm sorry that I didn't really hear your message until now, everyone over at Fry TV, but I was already aware of it. When somebody was like, hey, when somebody in particular came up to me and was like, or got into contact with me, was like, hey, we need to be hammering this message, like it's super important. And like, that's how California is handling it. Like, I learned about the contractual agreement through Mike Mattingly, and if anybody, I should clip that, and, ooh, you know what, I'm gonna play that for you guys. Screen share. It might take me a second to find it, but give me a second, and I'm gonna play that for you guys. I don't wanna just go here. Interesting. Let's see, which one was it though? I think it was this one. No. That wasn't the one. It was the one I was doing suggestions the other day. So we're looking for the interview I did with Mike Mattingly. Maybe it was on the... Was it this one? It is this one, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay, alright. So the other day I was like putting suggestions in the box for everyone.
Flew up and hit my camera. Alright. Nothing abnormal. Awesome, Freedom. Thank you so much. Okay, so today I'm putting suggestions in the box. Okay. Well, we're already fighting for the people, and we're already trying to remove the Patriot or the Emergency Powers Act. So, suggestion drivers vote on for like 4 days.
Wait. He brought me my coffee cup.
Oh my gosh, where did you find that?
It's in my car. You left it there.
Dude, I was looking for that for like 4 days. Everyone say hi to Mike.
Good morning. How's it going? My last day here. I'm taking off. So,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure.
It's funny, we're going to California to see Mike in a bit.
We should.
No, go ahead.
Talk to him a little bit. Get some coffee. But yeah, it's been an experience. A lot of lovely people, wonderful people out there. So just remember, that's really most of America. It's lovely, wonderful people. It's just the crazy, corrupt weirdos who are trying to control everything. I'm sorry that you got pantsed in junior high school. It wasn't me. I'll take it out on me.
It's not his fault. I'm glad you found that for me.
Yeah, man. How you feeling this morning?
Good. I went to the hotel and I slept. I fell asleep at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I woke up at like 3:30.
Good. good, man. Yeah, probably feel a lot better.
I needed sleep, man.
Yeah.
I've been stressed.
Don't take on too much stress. We can only do what we can do.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But as long as you're doing something every day, being awake and being aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
Improving, getting ideas and following through with it.
There's probably no sound because Mike's talking really quiet. I don't think he's had his coffee yet.
Yeah, no, I'm not a real loud talker anyways.
Unless you got a PA
Put a
system.
mic in front of me though, and I'll bring up the volume.
This is where I start to interview him though. So if you had one suggestion for the People's Convoy before you leave, what would it be like?
To Convoy.
To Convoy?
Go out to towns, right?
Do you think maybe other states
Yes.
tour instead of
we
DC?
go to small town America, set up in small town America or wherever that we can get a gathering like this. Go a day out, do a rally, come back, bring people with you. Because that's really, I think, when we went across the country, that's what I found. People just went to like, there's something I can do. And they did it. They jumped in their vehicles and they came. There's still people here that know it. They didn't even know the convoy was going. They just jumped in their car. They saw us going like, I'm coming. This ain't right. What's happening? So, I mean, we can fan out from this, from Hagerstown to 10 states, 6 hours at the most to go into a state and come back. It took me 6 hours to go to Connecticut. I went up and tried to recruit a bunch of convoyists. There was 10 of them, and they were in cars, and they didn't want to come here. They didn't even know this was still going on, though. So we're not getting pressed for sitting out here. We're not getting pressed for going into D.C. But you know where we got pressed is coming across the country and building up the forces as we came across. It's like a recruiting trip. So that's what I would say. I talked to those guys. They seemed willing to do it. They thought about perhaps even having a convoy back across the country and coming over there. I mean, we're not getting the point across here. We are meeting people and doing things. So there's no wasted time. There's nothing. We're either getting a win or we're learning. So we just keep on going. We just keep on rolling.
Right now, I think the best thing we need to do is sharpen our tools. And you know, yesterday I was talking to you about how I learned about the contractual agreement basically from you, and it just kind of stuck, that phrase stuck in my mind. And when somebody else brought it to my attention that we need to be asking we need to be demanding a response while demanding from our representatives that we end the Emergency Powers Act. So, and you know, wouldn't you agree that when you say someone's name out loud, you remember it better?
Yes, I have a hard time saying people's names out loud, though.
Okay, so being that
because I had a guy who would say my name 19 times, or every time he met somebody, he'd say it. It was annoying, but you know.
So being that I basically learned about contractual agreement through notice and opportunity from you, do you think you could give the people that message on why it's important that we ask for a response from our representatives?
Yeah, so this is what we did in California. And I'm not really, the representative thing, I know we want to end the Emergency Act, but the fact of the matter is there's nothing that overrides the Constitution. No Emergency Act can do that. It's the people standing up and saying, we're not dealing with this BS. You're illegitimate if you're using this force against us. But what we did in Tuolumne County and my buddy Tony, and what we've been doing in Santa Cruz County is we put notice and opportunity, which is basically, hey, you're violating my rights, knock it off. We know you're doing it. If you don't stop, it's $100,000 per violation, or $250,000 if you get into a Title 18 or Title 42 lawsuit. Deprivation of rights, Title 18, Section 241 and 242. Those are their own laws. I don't think of them as our laws because these are legislative laws that don't apply to the people. They don't know that, but I do. None of this stuff applies to a living being. It's all corporate fictions. So if you want to talk...
Real quick, I'm going to address Robin C. The contractual agreement comes after notice and opportunity if they do not respond within 30 days. So to clarify what we're talking about here for you so you're more on the same page, the contractual agreement comes after the notice and opportunity after they've failed to respond. So if they fail to respond, then they are on contractual agreement, which is civil law subcategory of contract law. All right, so we're going to back up a couple seconds here, get back on page, and listen to the rest of what Mike Mattingly has to say from funkyfathers.com.
None of this stuff applies to a living being. It is all corporate fictions. So if you want to talk to a corporation, you have to put it in paper. They don't hear you when you come yelling at them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't resonate. Until they put it in paper, they can't see you. So what we do, we give them a notice and say, you're violating my rights, knock it off. And you've got, give them a real contract would be 30 days. If it's an important, if you're in a rush, you can do it down to like 7 days was the earliest I did it. Now, I'm going to just say, I haven't completed this process, but we've had a lot of people step down from their positions because they got scared. Because when you file a lawsuit, Title 42 lawsuit for deprivation of rights means that you violated my rights, which means you violated the oath of office. That means you violated the Constitution, which means that you are no longer a public official and you no longer have tax dollars to represent you in court. So now you're on your own dime and nobody wants to do that. So when you do this, you just let them know you're violating my rights. You give them a certain amount of time, like standard is 30 days. And then if they don't respond, you write them back something called the courtesy notice. Say, listen, I'm giving you 10 more days to respond to this. If you don't respond, that's tacit and acquiescence. It's tacit agreement and through acquiescence. Basically, you didn't respond, so what I'm telling you on this piece of paper, you're accepting as truth, right? So if I say you're violating my rights and you need to respond to this, I'm giving you 30 days, they don't respond, you give them 10 days to respond again. You say, hey man, I told you, you're about to accept this as truth and fact in court. And then 3 days later, or after the 10 days, you give them a notice of default that said, hey man, you defaulted on your obligation to respond to this notice. Any actions against me is going to cost you this much money, blah, blah, blah. You haven't, but as a great person and a great human being, I'm going to give you 3 more days to respond. And if you don't, then you're in the whole thing is a stop. But this is something that's another form. But after 2 notes.
Robin, that's why we ask specifics, okay? If you notice when I called my rep, I asked for their position on ending all mandates and ending the Emergency Powers Act. So when we're contacting our senators, we have to be very specific with what we're asking for, right? We want to know their position to us demanding the end of all mandates, ending the Emergency Powers Act, ending the National Emergencies Act, and getting accountability for the response to COVID.
Yeah, I went and looked before I.
This is something that's another form. But after 2 notices, if they don't respond, they've accepted your terms.
After 2 notices?
Yeah.
So there is no time limit. It's about 2 notices.
There is a time limit because you have to give people time to respond.
What's the official time limit on them?
If you want it to be not without a doubt in any court, it's 30 days. You give them 30 days to respond. If they don't respond within 30 days, it's give them a notice and say, hey, you didn't respond. 10 more days. You're accepting this.
Okay. And you said that's any court, so any state, any court, or?
Well, it's in the. Thank you, brother.
It's just black.
I love black. Okay, awesome. I don't put anything in my coffee. Yeah. So time limits. Time limits is 30 days for it's contract law. This is a contract.
Yeah.
The Constitution is a contract with we the people
civil
to
law,
defend our rights.
Contract law.
That is it. All this other baloney, it doesn't apply to us. They need our consent for any of this stuff. And when we use their services, we're giving them consent. So 30 days, 10 days, and then they're in default, and you can take it in front of a judge, And if they don't, you go into a judge and if you ask for, a ruling that you followed this procedure. And then you can bring charges against it. You get a ruling from the judge, and I'm not sure about the ordering on this. You can bring up Title 42 lawsuit. You bring that in. You say this is how they violated my Fourth Amendment. This is my Fifth Amendment. They violated.
Well, see, 241 is conspiracy against rights.
Yeah.
So that's like basically saying like you guys knew you were violating my rights. It's a conspiracy against my rights.
Yeah.
And then Title 242 is of course deprivation of rights.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Mike, for bringing all this to my attention.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be... I've been suggested to have you give me questions. I can respond to them on the Funky Fathers page. I'm just going to put up a page on kind of how to attack the tyrants.
How to attack the tyrants.
And mind you, I'm
not too sure. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm no expert. I mean, I've only been doing this for 2 years, but
Bro.
I've got some common law and some constitutional law people that are just straight warriors who've been doing this for 25 years. And what I was going to say, my buddy Tony, he sent one of these notices, basically saying that what they were doing was domestic terrorism under Title 18, Section 2331. And intimidating the public through coercion, by forcing people to be masked and vaxxed in order to have jobs, in order to pay for themselves. That's terrorism.
Yes.
And these people, the health directors is where we can hit them. We can hit them hard. We can hit them all in one day. And when 3,000 health directors in this country get this notice, we can make a difference, because no one's going to want to do this after they get sued for $180 million, and then they get a lien on all their property, and guess what? They can't buy anything. They can't have a credit card. They can't have a bank account. It all gets frozen. So that's how we're doing. There's some other stuff I'm looking into. I got a group in California that we're fighting pretty hard to figure out what the people's remedy is. And let me tell you, waiting 2 years to vote, that ain't for me.
Yeah,
These guys are committing crimes, and we have a system for that. And if the system's defunct, then none of this stuff matters anyways. It's time to get separated from all of this stuff. We either have rule of law or we don't. And there's real law and there's nonsense law that's coming out of these legislative bodies.
Otherwise known as color of law.
Yeah. So, anyways, Tony had sent this notice to the health director of Tualatin County in California. She stepped down 2 days later, I think.
Really?
Within a week. So, yay on us, and that's what I want to get busy serving all of these people. And I'm hoping that the lawyer here at the People's Convoy, I've talked to him a little bit, and he talked to my buddy Tony, and hopefully they're going to get together and put together a package that we can drop all at one time. From what I know, Chris hasn't gotten back to Tony yet, so we're just waiting on that, and I don't really like to wait. But anyways, that's what I'm planning to do, and then I'm going to sing songs about it, teach you about law and music.
So just to clarify real quick, any court, the timeline, they have 30 days to respond. Any public servant, whether it be a governor, senator, House representative, anything, they have 30 days to respond, and then if they don't respond, you send them a notice.
It's a courtesy notice. It says, hey.
This is what they're doing in California to make their elected officials, quote, elected officials, end quote, step down from their positions. We're going to rewind 5 seconds. And then if they don't respond, you send them a notice.
It's a courtesy notice. It says, hey, maybe you didn't get this first thing when you didn't respond as required.
And you can set the amount of time that they would have to respond yourself, or
you can give them 7 days if you feel like this is an emergency.
Okay.
And then you give them 3 days. But if you really want to wait, give them 30 days. The people arrested me
for the second. To answer a question right now, how do we contact them? Well, blowing up their phone lines is one option, but right now I'm talking about setting up maybe a certified letter to verify that our senators have received this notice and opportunity of demanding the end of all mandates, demanding the end of the Emergency Powers Act, and demanding the end of the National Security Act, which are one and the same acts, by the way, I do believe. And as far as getting advice from a lawyer, that's something else we've discussed, is setting up a booth, or the possibility. I haven't discussed this with organizers or anything like that, but it would be nice to have a lawyer sit down with the people and empower them with knowledge, because again, knowledge is power, and we have to empower the people. So we're going to rewind here, just addressing a couple comments in chat, and we'll continue this interview with Mike Mattingly from funkyfathers.com, who is currently fighting these mandates in Santa Cruz County with a board of attorneys over there.
Make weight.
Actually, let me clarify. Actually, they are working with counsel and addressing this themselves by educating themselves.
Give them 30 days. The people arrested me
for the
got
second
30
time.
days, and
For the second notice,
No,
the first
10
notice.
days.
10 days for the second notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
and
You want to
that's,
walk and get some coffee?
That's what we need to do in this world.
I should probably clean this out, but
Skip forward
I need coffee in this cup so I can warm my fingertips. But yeah, dude. So tell me more about what these people need to know.
What's that?
Tell me more about what these people need to know. We got almost 300 people that are curious and want information.
Well, it's just, look up notice and opportunity. You can go to ACLA. That's my buddy Tony's thing. You can go to Teresa Bucola, the Risa. She's fighting like mad in Carmel. She got we don't really get people to step down and come to the notices. They just magically decide it's time to spend more time with their families over and over and over again. So I'm not going to make claims that we did that and it's proven and any of that stuff. All I'm saying is, when you take action against these criminals, they're just humans, just like the rest of us. They're scared, and when you get a notice from the IRS that says you owe this much money, I don't even believe in the IRS. They can't tax my labor.
Ooh, let's stand right here in the sun for a second.
But
before we walk around, because I got a couple more questions before we get distracted.
People who come to me with guns, they're frightening, and these public. Let me just tell you about public officials. Most of them are climbers. So they'll throw their neighbor right under the bus in order to get to the top. And so if you go talk to someone, you've got a beef with one of the people in your legislative body, go talk to their enemy. Go talk to them, see what's going on with them. Let them know that maybe it's coming from them, that this thing. Let them fight with themselves inside their own minds. That's really where the battle is. But,
I'm just going to go ahead and address the little conflict in my chat. Hello, Miss Asian, or Aslan. Miss Aslan, thank you for joining my stream today. I would just ask that you pay attention to what is being said in this interview rather than any type of conflict in the chat, because as you're typing on your keyboard, it takes away your attention from learning what's actually going on out here in the convoy. So let's try to get engaged into what's going on in this video. We're going to rewind it and keep playing.
Their own minds. That's really where the battle is. But, we can take these guys down one at a time because they're human beings and they have fears. And most of them are afraid of dying. If you don't fear death, there is no worry. I'm going to leave this suit at some point, and I'm going to go flying off to my next adventure.
It's just funny you mentioned the fear of death, because the fear of death, I think, is what has inflamed the response to COVID to the heights that the overreach has,
as well as hating on Trump, as we discussed earlier,
gotten to at this point. Can you explain to the people what US 18 Title 666 is?
That's kind of a new one on me, but it's receiving of gifts or something from for federal funding and using those gifts as incentives to, I don't know. I mean, that's
Money
that's
is
a
the
new
root
one
of
on
all evil, basically. Look it up yourself and make your own conclusions. That was U.S. 18 Title 666. Yes, you heard that correct.
That's right.
It's a very bad code.
My buddy Tony just pulled that out. He's using it, so he told me about it a couple days ago. I haven't really read up on it, so I'm not going to say too much about it until I see.
Can intentionally speak more on it. Yeah.
I don't want to
So look that one up.
I'm going to look that up myself right now on stream live. Okay. So I've actually got some info on that. We're going to go ahead and pull back the video for a moment here. And I'm going to hunt this down. So actually what we'll do is, instead of hunting it down, so right here, this is, yes, you read that correctly, 18, which 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. So, very bad, okay? And it's talking about incentives, basically. So, whoever, if the circumstance described in subsection of this section exists, being an agent of an organization or of a state, local, or Indian tribal government or any agency thereof, A. Embezzles, steals, obtains by fraud or otherwise without authority, knowingly converts to the use of any person other than the rightful owner, or intentionally misapplies property that is valued at $5,000 or more and is owned by or is under the care of, custody, or control of such organization, government, or agency. Or B. Corruptly solicits or demands for the benefit of any person or accepts or agrees to accept anything of value from any person intending to be influenced or rewarded in connection with any business transaction or series of transactions, such as an organization, government, or agency involving anything of value $5,000 or more. And let me just say that our bodies are the first thing we ever own in our lives, and the most valuable thing we have in our lives is our bodies and our own free will. Okay? Corruptly gives, offers, or, and we continue, corruptly gives, offers, or agrees to give anything of value to any person with intent to influence or reward an agent of an organization or of a state, local, or Indian tribal government. Let me reread that. I'm going to take a breath. Corruptly gives, offers, or agrees to give anything of value to any person with intent to influence or reward an agent of an organization or of a state, local, or Indian tribal government or agency, any agency thereof, in connection with any business transaction or series of transactions, such as government, organization, or agency involving anything of value $5,000 or more, shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not for more than 10 years, or both. In this instance, I think we should do both. So you guys can look that up yourselves. Okay, it's addressing the incentives. All right, but to piggyback off of US 18 Title 666, we're going to look up perverse. This is something people might. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Perverse incentives. So we'll go ahead and use Wikipedia's definition. That's okay. Perverse incentive is an incentive that has unintended and undesirable result that is contrary to the intentions of its designers. So although maybe these incentives for COVID, whether it be a incentive at the front end for a positive COVID test, somebody being on a ventilator, number 2, and number 3 being the death certificates, and then number 4 being the overall compliance within the company to receive incentives or federal funding, and then 5, statewide compliance or not getting federal funding or contracts, right? But the most the way perverse incentive is generally associated with is the Cobra effect. Can we click on this? All right, let's just search it. We'll just search it. All right, well, I guess we'll just read it from here. So basically, the British government started handling. I'm just gonna pull this out of my memory because I don't like this definition. So basically, the British government had a problem with cobras, and they started offering incentives for cobras. What was it? Cobra head, or offered a bounty for every dead cobra. So what happened is people started breeding cobras. Okay, right here, people started to breed cobras for income, and then the government quickly became aware of it, and the reward program was scrapped. When cobra breeders set their now worthless snakes free, which is what happened, the wild cobra population further increased. So they're only offering one incentive on this huge problem that the British government had. One incentive just for the cobras, right? But with this COVID response, we have 5 different incentives. So to me, that's just very, very, very concerning. So again, Title 18, or U.S. 18 Title 666 is the incentives getting addressed in legal terms. Let's go back to this, and we will continue our interview with Mike Mattingly.
Can intentionally speak more on it. Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah. So look that one up yourselves, guys.
Well, yeah, it's a real thing, and that's what's happening. You know, all of these health directors were incentivized to find COVID, to mask people, to vaccinate people. They're getting.
If there's any buffering going on, pull your play bar back like 5-10 seconds, and then let it buffer, and go ahead and press play again. And it might be a little bit behind the live, but it's okay as long as it's not as frustrating for you to watch the content. So
Federal fund, mask people, to vaccinate people. They're giving federal funds. Those federal funds, that's our money.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for this, and I don't know anybody who did. I mean, I know people who like it. They think it's worthwhile, but I don't think anybody asked for it. It's like all these vaccine laws. Nobody's calling up the senators saying, "God, you got to get everybody in my neighborhood vaccinated." No, that's a mind game that was paid by the press on the people. I've been watching this nonsense for years in California.
Yeah. Hey, so because I know that you understand the importance of contacting your demanding a response from our representatives, could I just get you to say real quick, when contacting your representatives, demand a response, and then maybe just 5 to 10 seconds of explaining why. That way people can clip that and share like a 20 second clip.
Sure, when you talk to any of your public officials, just remember, first of all, they're public servants. That means they serve us. That means we make demands and they respond. It's not they tell us what to do. We make demands. It's in the law. We are the highest principle in all dealings with the government. We are the power. If our legislative body thinks that they can tell us what to do, they've been misguided because the people are ignorant. And ignorant is knowing there's information and you've chosen to ignore it. That's what ignorant means.
So when contacting our representatives, what do we need to do?
When we contact our representatives, you just tell them, this is what I want. I want you to end this state of emergency. I want you to file charges against whoever you want to file charges against. I mean, if Ted Cruz was really a man of the people, we would just put demands on the government. You just demand what you want.
And demanded what? A response, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and why would we, so we would...
Right, we demand a response because they have to respond, and then he puts it in paper. They don't know if you're there until you put it in paper. That's all.
Yes. And then that would put them on a contractual agreement through notice and opportunity, is that correct?
Well, yeah. It depends on whether you guys do it right.
I guess, yeah. So we're not experts here, but you know, it is.
I do have templates somewhere.
It is a thing, and putting them on record is number one, big, and then two, they are public servants, so they, through contract law, they are supposed to be required to respond. And if we've got thousands of people messaging these guys, they're going to have to respond, and it's going to make them work extra hours, right?
So I did learn that we have to make sure that they received our message. So I think maybe focusing on certified letters could be very beneficial, or maybe even dropping these notices off in person. That's something I learned after this interview, or thought about and decided to add to the message. So certified letters and dropping these things off in person is the most effective way of making sure that they receive our message, to start putting them on that timeline, or that time frame or countdown of responding and giving us their position on our demands to end Emergency Powers Act.
They're not going to want to do that. They don't like to work as it is. So,
Yeah, so you
response.
you can deliver the stuff. We find that if you can actually get face to face with these people, that's really the way to do it. And you serve them.
Well, we want accountability. I think
we have to
writing
serve. No.
You don't think so?
Writing is, that's what I'm talking about. So you take that notice and you get somebody to serve it on them. Like the sheriff would serve your ass if you had a problem, or somebody's coming with you. You can have the U.S. Marshals serve these people if it's a real problem. It just depends on the...
That goes for like school board member or everybody.
Just
even a senator.
And the beauty is, we have a template. You can serve your neighbor, your buddy, who's just not on the lawsuit or not on the notice, can walk in and serve this thing, and it's bona fide.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as long as he gives it to the person who's supposed to have it.
Served, yeah.
You always videotape it, so if they deny it or they kill the guy who's serving it, you still have the video. You spread that stuff around, so they can't say, "Well, I never got that notice." Yeah, you got it. That's important. So when you have a service with the notice, it really makes it so they can't deny it, and they will. You can do it certified mail if you're a long way away. You got to get a receipt, though, because you want to get that return receipt to prove that it was delivered to that office.
What time are we leaving, Brian?
Going out to the meeting.
Okay. 10-4, I'll find you.
You gonna go get blankets?
Yeah.
Popsicle by then.
What's that?
If I'm not a meat popsicle by then.
Oh, what do you mean? It's because it's so cold out?
The damn wind. If the wind would quit blowing, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, it's freezing.
The wind, man, it'll cut through you like a hot knife through the
I know, I'm shivering, bro. I gotta get some coffee in my cup and have like a little hand warmer, dude.
Hey, that's why I'm in love.
Yes, sir. That's why I started. I was like, let's get behind this thing. It's black because the wind's coming this way. Are you guys all waiting in line for coffee?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get coffee for sure. Are you gonna get some breakfast, or did you already eat?
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Come back.
Alright guys, let's step outside for a second. Pause this.
Thank you so much.
What's up, Jason? What's going on? Get up. We're gonna pause this. I'm gonna turn my mic back around, step outside for a moment. That guy talking reminds me of... His name is Mike Mattingly from funkyfathers.com. And if anybody has not been to funkyfathers.com, we'll go there right now. Oh, what? Oh, Funky Fathers. Oops. Funky Fathers. Oops. Okay. So this is, his beard, Thomas Roth, his beard, if you guys, I actually did a podcast with him. I'll show you the video. And I talked about perverse incentive and stuff in this podcast.
but it just uploads. We're going to show you guys what this podcast looks like, and then we're going to go back to funkyfathers.com. Let's see here. Where is it? Right here. It's the one that has the body, your choice, ? Episode 6, Mike and Kevin podcast on Convoy. Okay. So back to funkyfathers.com. This is the gentleman that was just speaking. He is putting pressure on Santa Cruz County with Title 241 through 242 lawsuits and contract law, and just hammering on them. So this is funkyfathers.com. You can come here and check this out. He's got lots of different links here. You have to like sift through this to find all the juicy stuff. Right? He's got lots of different content out here. If you'd like to look more into what Mike Mattingly has to say, he's a very wise individual. He chooses to spread his message through music. Okay, so you can come here. And you can actually buy the whole album for $9, which is a very reasonable price. And you can buy each individual song for $1, so that's also very reasonable. Although some of my favorite songs are not on this album, Mike, you need to adjust this to have The Flame of Liberty on here and Hey Kid, because those are my two favorite songs. Although We Do Not Consent is a very good song. We actually went to Fauci's house and played that outside of Fauci's house the other day, which was very fun. It was this stream right here, or maybe it was this one. Yeah, I think it was this one, the one that has a 5 hours and 30 minutes. So, Funky Fathers music right there. Couple pictures will show you what Mike's got on his website here. Yeah, so come through here and sift through what he's got. We'll come back to OBS, and sorry about that there. So we are California bound, because California is a conduit to these other states, and we don't want what California is doing to impact other states. This is what California is doing. For anyone that's just tuning in or needs to refresh their memory on what this legislation they're trying to make law is over in California, go ahead and read that real quick. Hi, Liberty Bell. What's up? I did see your message earlier. Hold on. Let's run through some chat real quick while people are reading. You guys can read that while I read my chat. It's the concept of what the My Body, My Choice people represent, and the reason why we titled it Your Body, Your Choice is because we are here fighting for freedom. Now, if they want to have a debate on abortion, come on down. Let's work out our issues and have a civil conversation about it, and be adults and try to have open discourse, because that's what our country needs. Instead of these bills right here, like the third from the last one, silencing doctors from expressing their studies and their findings, right? To reiterate, it says, would reclassify sharing of COVID-19 misinformation by doctors as unprofessional conduct resulting in disciplinary action. Okay, so they're trying to silence doctors. Very bad. And again, I'm going to highlight the fact that they used an abbreviation of doctors, but yet they quoted and spelled out the whole word misinformation. It's the way they title their articles. It's fake news, right? And here's some more fake news for anybody that missed it. Zach from the Daily Wire, Daily Beast, Zachary Petrizzo from the Daily Beast, once again slandering the convoy, saying that People's Convoy gives up, will leave D.C. after 3 weeks of doing absolutely nothing. That is wrong. We've been contacting our representatives. We've been setting up meetings with our senators, and we've been standing up for our rights, right? We are not giving up the fight. We are not giving up, right? We are standing up. And right now we are standing up for California because they really need help. And just because we're across the country, we might not make it in time there to be there when these bills get voted on. But us just driving across the country will raise the awareness of what's going on in California, and hopefully the 40 million Californians can stand up and put an end to this themselves, because it is their state, right? And California used to be very anti-mask and anti-mandates. I don't know what happened. I think it's probably the indoctrination that has happened within our media. Hold on, I'm gonna play this clip again for you guys.
What do you think caused that type of indoctrination? Do you think it was the fear of dying?
No, I'm gonna say Trump. Here's why I say Trump.
You're probably right.
Here's the reason why I say Trump. When Trump got in office, now mind you, before Trump, things were already bad. But because Barack Obama was there, they was like, oh, black man, everything's all good. We get to chill out. You know, my president is black, right? All that bullcrap. When Trump got in and said, make America great again, everything changed. Everything. They was like, oh, white supremacists, look at the crowd, this and that.
Well, the border, too, is another reason why they started saying, like, the racism comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but go on.
And yet they still got that wrong.
What do you think caused...
So real quick, Trina Clark, April 10th. Oh, I'm going to turn my mic around. Trina Clark, April 10th. Is that when the anti-mandate rally is in LA? Hi, Southern Belle. Let's come back to this screen over here. Okay, so we just watched Julius's clip with why he thinks this indoctrination happened, or at least that, in my opinion, that's one of the very good reasons on why. And for anybody that missed it earlier, this is Paul Alexander, who we played a clip of earlier. Go ahead and scroll back and watch that if you haven't. But I will highlight real quick that they are trying to make it look like Paul Alexander is the one trying to muzzle federal scientists and public health agencies to prevent them from contradicting the Trump administration's political talking points. Now, again, China had hydroxychloroquine as part of their response to COVID the entire time COVID was going on. And mind you, COVID came from where? So, oops. I gotta pull OBS back up. So again, right? Let's highlight this again for anybody that missed it. This is Francis Collins, Anthony Fauci, Cliff Lane, Lawrence Tabak, and 4 other grayed out names talking about fringe epidemiologists and needing a quick and devastating published takedown of its premises. And that was sent October 8th. And then this one was sent the next day on October 9th. And they're publishing these devastating takedowns, right? Using articulations such as deadly delusions. Now, so fringe epidemiologists. Interesting. So if you look here, let's see, I thought, hold on, let's go back to screen share. And now we're gonna go to Wikipedia again. Man, hold on. I thought one of these people was an epidemiologist. Let me see here. Oops. Why isn't it? Is this the same person? Yeah, okay. I'm reading. Did I miss it? I could have swore earlier I seen the word epidemiologist in one of these descriptions. Maybe I'm tripping. Oh, Alexander has it right here. A degree in epidemiology. Okay. So, highlighted right there, Alexander has a bachelor's degree in epidemiology. So, when we're looking at fringe epidemiologists, right, and them needing a quick and devastating published takedown of a supremacist, why do you think that YouTube has been pulling down Paul Alexander's content? I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because Fauci and his goon squad wants that, right? And then also, not just Fauci, but California wants that. And probably a lot of other corrupt individuals. Because as we see here, right, AB 2098 would reclassify sharing of COVID misinformation by doctors as unprofessional conduct resulting in disciplinary action. So people like Dr. Paul Alexander are getting attacked. And they have been for years now. Over 2 years they've been getting attacked. So I'm reading through my chat real quick. What guy doesn't engage anybody on what's really going on? Who doesn't do that? I mean, I'm engaging with 180 people right now. Right? Do you need to scroll back and watch the whole stream, or are you looking for instant gratification? What are you looking for, Donald Bond? Why are you here, bud? Kimberly Sweet. That is why the convoy is hitting the road to get the message out, draw attention. Fake news will have to pay attention. That's right, the fake news will have to pay attention. They'll have to write about us. And then we have the good news, like the Hill, that is actually being objective, right? And then also myself, who is being objective. Because if you look here, if you wanted to know about... Let's pull all this down. If you wanted to know about the Daily Beast and what they had to say as far as this particular tweet, when they're saying that where the convoy as a whole has a new goal to conduct citizens' arrest of Metro PD officers in DC Mayor Mule, and also down here they're talking about even DC residents, right? If you want to see me addressing that, I have an exclusive interview with Ron Coleman himself. And that should be, which it's not right now, should be on the top of my... I guess it only shows for people that aren't like the moderator of this channel. But I will show you. Right here. This one right here. I cover that specific tweet in a interview with Ron Coleman himself, and then the next day a reporter shows up and I tried to give her the real Anthony Fauci book, and she was there to get the story on us claiming, or the so-called claims of the questions we raised about if it was possible to make citizens arrest. So yeah, there's lots of fake news. Alright, back to my chat. Hold on, let me pull up my California stand up. Okay. We need you guys to stand up. Marino, what two are being voted on earlier? I'd be interested to know that. What kind of comms do you need, big dog? Am I leaving DC? Yeah, we're going to California to stand up for our rights. California, we're inbound. Okay, we're going to be going to LA and Sacramento. Okay. There's 12 bills in Cali? Well, I've only got 10 of them up on my screen right now. So if there's 12, I'd be interested in knowing what the extra 2 are. Shoot. So I'm going to take a break real quick. I gotta use the restroom. Go ahead and ask any questions in my chat. I'll be back in 1 minute. All right, I'm back. So, what do you guys think about California and California being a conduit to these other states passing legislation like this? What do you guys think about that? Okay, Carl. All right, Carl, I'll do that. I'm going to take a second to highlight his question. We're going to look up something that he wants us to look at. So we're going to come over here and go back to Google. Yeah, I know I need like DuckDuckGo on here or something, even though they just started censoring as well. So what was it? And Dasnet. Did I spell that right? Is that Dazak? And whether or not they've been charged with it or convicted is 2 different things, okay? So, you say you wanted me to look at the Desert Review titled? Okay, so let's look at this one. Because as we know, fake news and the way they articulate it is important, so we need to be looking at the right information. All right. Oh, wow. Good. Good. This is good stuff. UK team filed complaint. International. Good. When was this posted? Oh, all these weird things. Get out of my face. December 10th, 2021. What's come of this? This was posted a while ago. So I wonder what's come of that. When was this one posted? Yeah, see, this one was about a year ago, too. So, I mean, it takes a long time for this stuff to go through court. Like, I did not expect. Like, it took them 5 years to come out with the Durham report. The Durham, however it's pronounced. Let's check this link out, too. I mean, they did commit crimes against humanity, so that's good. This one was posted when? Is there a date on this one? Probably around the same time. May 2021. It's an hour long, we can't play that. But yeah, so go check these articles out. I'm going to continue reading this one right here. This one's interesting. Huh. Okay. Oop. Oop. Yeah, sneeze on one. Guys, if you have a question that you need pinned, like, super chats are the best way to get me to read your comments. Not gonna lie, because I can't read through all of these. So if you want me to answer a question, just super chat it and pin it to the top of my chat. Let's see if we can bring that back up. Because I'm reading this right now, and I probably might miss a lot of questions. Alright, so I'm not reading this out loud. Hopefully you guys are reading this with me. Starting back right here. Oh, interesting. It's funny because I pointed this one out just a second ago. Along with the Gates Foundation. Wow, that's our northern border right there, guys. Wow, this is good information. When was this posted? Oh, yeah. So I mean, geez. Okay, so there's stuff in the works. Carl, thank you so much for suggesting I read some of this stuff. What's this stream about? Well, you know, Jennifer M., if you'd read along with the stream, you would know. If you need to go back and watch the rest of the stream, do so. I mean, we've been going for a while now, so. Alright, so thank you, Carl. I'm going to continue reading this. Wow. Yeah, so Xi Jinping definitely has spoken about and complimented people on their New World Order agendas. Yeah, guys, this is bad. This is very bad. Wow, this is just sickening. Okay, so many people consider the Schwab guy one of the main causes of this one world fascist government to be run jointly in totalitarian fashion with China, and that makes so much sense. I mean, California Because like I said, California is the mini CCP, right? Because all their imports and exports come from China. So when we're looking at these articles, we have to be remembering what California is. Okay, so real quick, the Nuremberg Code, and this might take me a second to find it, but let's look here. Did I label them? Hopefully I labeled them. Oh, there's one. So the Nuremberg Code, because I'm getting close. Unless I put them in 2 different folders, which is possible because I cleaned off my desktop. So I'm looking for, oh, what's that? Oh, that's the deprivation of rights one. Okay, we'll just do this. Okay, so the Nuremberg Declaration of Helsinki and the Belmont Report. That's what I was looking for. So let's go ahead and the Declaration of Helsinki and the Belmont Report. So we're sharpening our tools right now, guys. We need to consider making the Nuremberg Code law, the Belmont Report law, and the Helsinki Accord law, instead of these mandates. I will, Carl. I will read that article. I stopped because it mentioned the Nuremberg Code. Let me just pull this back up so we have it ready to go. I just wanted to touch base on other things other than the Nuremberg Code, because there's multiple things that are backing up our rights here besides the Constitution. Where was it? Right here. Development of the Nuremberg Code. So there is the Nuremberg Code, which right here is the Nuremberg Code. No, that was up here, wasn't it? Dang it, I should just look it up. I'm gonna pull it out right there. Pull it out. So I can reference it again quickly. So there's the Nuremberg Code, right? That the voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential, right? And we do not consent. So there's lots of things backing up our constitutional rights here, right? And not only the Nuremberg Code, but the Belmont Report and the Helsinki Accord are also references to basic human rights regarding medical procedures and who owns our bodies. Helsinki, was it the Helsinki Accord or report? lost it. Anyways. I think it's the report. It's the Declaration of Helsinki. Right here. It is the duty of the physician to promote and safeguard the health, well-being, and rights of the patients. And mind you, our constitutional rights, there is no higher authority than our constitutional / unalienable and inalienable rights given to us by God and ourselves. The government works for us. They need to remember that. So, yeah, so there's the Declaration of Helsinki, there's the Belmont Report, and then there is the Nuremberg Code. Okay, so when we're reading this article, right, there's multiple different references to medical freedom and medical rights. Informed consent, guys. Informed consent. Keyword consent. It doesn't matter if you're informed or not. It's consent. Even if you are informed and you know the information, you still have the authority and the basic human rights to say no. And mind you, this emergency powers, this emergency authorization, emergency use authorization vaccines would not be possible if they had not demonized ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, because without a pre-existing, or if there is a pre-existing treatment to COVID, then there would be no emergency use authorization. Oops, let me see here. I just bumped my phone. So, yes, Doug Boone, we are definitely in this for the long haul. Solidarity. All right, so let's continue reading here. If they want to consider this a vaccine, it's an emergency use. It's a experimental vaccine, and like I said, without pre-existing treatments like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, they would never have the emergency powers in order to mandate these experimental vaccines. So when we ask ourselves why China had hydroxychloroquine as part of their treatment plan for their entire country, and yet hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin is being demonized in the United States, and then you have the emergency powers getting erected and abused time and time after again, you start to see the overall picture when you zoom out and you start to put all the pieces of the puzzle together. Again, here's the Nuremberg Code. We also have the Belmont Report and the Declaration of Helsinki on our side, and also the Constitution, right? The Constitution, there's no higher law than the Constitution, and they've been violating it for 2 years. Wow, we've got so many people in the chat. Thank you so much. Every day create your history. That's right, school the world. That's what we're doing right now. We're trying to school the world. That's why we're reading, right? I don't usually like live stream my research, but I think that like showing me calling my senators and doing research and showing the references is extremely important when offering information to people that are watching me. Live streaming is great, you know, but it's hard to verbatim everything when you're out and about. You know, you've been live streaming for 12 hours or whatever the case is. You know, this podcast type setup is very beneficial to be able to sit down, show your references, show what the Nuremberg Code is, show what the Belmont Report is, show what the Declaration of Helsinki is. You know, we could even pull up the Constitution and read that. It's pretty short. It's, you know, it's not like it's extremely confusing. Once you start getting into like the code and all this color of law that they're trying to implement with executive orders, et cetera, that stuff starts to get confusing. Kind of like the transgender ideology, that the merry-go-round of confusion that they try to put you on. It's squares and circles. It's very simple. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit, let you guys read the next part. I'm going to grab some more coffee real quick, and then I'll be right back. All right. Ooh. Looks like we lost some viewers here. Sorry about that. To the 150 people still standing in here at the moment, thank you for hanging in there and reading and doing research with me. This is a very long article. Look at this bar. Okay, so I'm going to pause. I'm going to take a drink of coffee. If everyone in the chat wants me to continue reading all of this, I will. And even if I don't even if the chat doesn't want to, I still might anyways. I'm going to take a second and just take a little break, and then we're going to dive right back into it. Okay, so let me just find my spot here. And I'm gonna reread this. This is what I do. I sometimes, like, when I take breaks and I come back, and you know, through repetition you become better, right? Pro athletes and stuff, they don't just hop in, shoot one hoop, and then be done for the day. No, they do it over and over and over and over and over again, right? As far as basketball players go, they sit there and they practice, and through repetition they get better, right? So we're gonna reread. I'm going to reread some of this. Good, they need to be facing criminal liability because they've been violating our rights for 2 years. Yes, the first principle of the Nuremberg Code is willingness and informed consent by the person to receive treatment and participate in that experiment. Mind you, this is an experimental vaccine. We have not had an FDA-approved vaccine in our country yet. They're threatening our livelihoods and our careers if we do not comply. The person is supposed to activate freedom of choice without the intervention either through force, deceit, fraud, threat, solicitation, or any other type of binding or coercion. And mind you, the Nuremberg Code is code. It is code. Okay? The Constitution is on our side. Let me just, in case you guys forgot. Hold on, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to, actually, you know what? I'll pull up my notes. Be a little easier that way. Right. This isn't the revised version. This isn't the revised version, but let's come up here. So in this email right here, I am highlighting some of the constitutional violations. Go ahead and screenshot that or pause the screen there and read that. But I'm just reminding you that the Nuremberg Code is code. It's not constitutional law. Okay? But we do have it on our side, and it's a tool we can use. Okay? Because it helps elaborate what freedom is and what liberty is in our Constitution. Because apparently our representatives forgot. Alright, so we're reading and we're sharpening our tools. Oop, I almost spilled my coffee. A key principle of the Nuremberg Code requires that a scientist must be prepared to terminate the experiment at any stage if he has probable cause to believe in the exercise of good faith, superior skill, and careful judgment required on him that continuation of the experiment is likely to result in injury, disability, or death to the experimental subject. And mind you, that's just one of the key principles. The other one is consent. Okay? Freedom of choice. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? The First Amendment, freedom of speech, right? All of that. Yes, and you can hear it straight from the inventor or the 7-time patent holder of mRNA technology, Robert Malone himself, who was at the Speedway this last Saturday, who gave a speech in a hailstorm, might I add. Yeah, and they're also there's also investigations. Excuse me, I'm gonna get a booger out of my eye, a little eye booger, sleepy booger. There's also investigations on the clinical trials that J&J, Pfizer, all these guys conducted with sweeping side effects of the experiment under the rug and not giving them compensation or assistance in handling those side effects. They didn't want them on their statistics. So they swept them under the rug, and there's actually people that are taking them to court for them, or at least that's the allegations, that they swept them under the rug. And so there's investigations going on whether or not they actually did that, which, you know, I find it, with the incentives on everything and the way they've been trying to just blow this out of proportion in all different types of front, with gaslighting, defamation, the incentives inflating numbers, the suppression of information via doctors and published takedowns in the media, it starts to add up. Okay. So we're continuing on. Yeah, I've read the Nuremberg Code. Yeah, so this is basically addressing more and more of the Nuremberg Code. We're going to skip by this. If you guys want to check that out, go ahead and do that on your own accord. I've already done so. It's just absurd what they're trying to do. Let's go ahead and start right here. In addition, a permanent... When was this? It came into operations in 2002. We got to be careful, guys. Hold up a second. Pause. We're right there. Hold on. We're going to look at something else real quick. Planned obsolescence. Yes. How about we do this? Light bulb. Ooh, BBC, I don't know. Yeah, so essentially companies build products that are designed to eventually fail, so consumers have to buy those products a second time. Okay, so that's what I see here with the vaccines and the boosters. Apple got sued for planned obsolescence with throttling their products via updates on their batteries and on their overall performance on their products, or older products, trying to get people to get frustrated and just buy a new product. Okay, planned obsolescence, I believe, don't quote me, but I think it's banned in 7 to 9 states here in the United States, and companies actually have planned obsolescence departments. Okay. The Phobius cartel. The Phobius cartel was meant to regulate the light bulb. But they ended up doing things in the best interest of profits rather than the best interest of the consumer. So basically what they did is they reverse engineered the light bulb to make people buy them again. They did the same thing with cars when DuPont bought into Ford. You know, with the Model T, they were, oh, this is an indestructible car, you know, you'll never have to buy one again. And then they started painting them colors. So colors is a form of planned obsolescence. Hold on. There we go. Wish I could. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Let's actually go to the. I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom. I've been drinking too much coffee. Alright, I'm back. Luckily there's a restroom like right next to me, and I shoved it out of my bladder knowing that all my equipment was sitting out here. So I'm trying to find a specific statement that I found before where it basically just said that they were more known for doing things in the best interest of profits rather than the consumer. I don't know. You just take my word for it. So, planned obsolescence. Now, where was I? What brought me to there? I did a lot of things in between this. What was it that sparked that for me? Why did I bring that up? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, it was that one organization that was started. Okay, yeah. So the International Criminal Court. So we have to be very careful about this International Criminal Court. You know, the Phobius cartel was put in charge of regulating the light bulb, and they turned it into a bad thing. Basically implementing planned obsolescence to the market, reverse engineering the light bulb to make consumers reconsume. And if anybody's curious on why or how they reverse engineer the light bulb, it comes down to thermal expansion. And the light bulb always having wattage without a light switch going on and off, creating that thermal expansion. And it's a lower wattage that it's being run to the light bulb. So if anybody's seen that light bulb that's been on in the fire department for like over 100 years, that's like one of the original light bulbs, proving that we could have had long-standing light bulbs when they were first invented, but yet due to greed and planned obsolescence, we have not. And thanks to the Phobius cartel as well. So the reason why I brought up the Phobius cartel and planned obsolescence is because I'm very leery when we come up with little groups to regulate things. In my opinion, they're probably just fronts for making us feel like stuff's getting done, and they just do negative things in the background. So I don't know if I trust that. We need to keep our eye on that. So we're not even close to ending this article. There's a lot of info in here. They went all out on this. Okay, so let's focus.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Bye.
Just refresh my chat here. Jeez. Guys, I can't keep up with my chat and read. I can't read two things at once. So if you guys have a serious question or something you really want me to bring attention to while I'm reading this article, I'm going to need you to super chat to the top, pin it to the top of my chat. I'm not going to be going through all this right now. I'm trying to focus on this article, so. Interesting. Interesting. So, where's the ICC at? The ICC operates as an impartial and omnipotent arbiter of world human rights and will aggressively step in when it sees a flagrant Nuremberg-type atrocities without consequence. So, where's the ICC? Where's the ICC at? Are they just eating our tax dollars, or are they just eating our tax dollars? Because this has been a flagrant Nuremberg-type atrocity for 2 years. Longer than 2 years. All right, focus, laser focus. Mind you, I'm in the lobby too, so I keep hearing noise in the background. It's so distracting. I gotta get my laser focus. Interesting. Good job, Attorney Rose. Good job. That is good stuff. Good for you. Thanks for stepping up. It's not a vaccine. It's not a vaccination. It's not prohibiting infection. It's not prohibiting transmission device. It's not a prohibiting transmission device. Might I add, you cannot remove it either. It's a means by which your body is conscripted to make the toxin that then allegedly your body somehow gets used to dealing with it. But unlike a vaccine, which is to trigger the immune response, this is to trigger the creation of the toxin. Interesting. mRNA uses the cell's machinery to synthesize proteins that are supposed to resemble the spike protein of the virus, which is what it uses to enter cells via the ACE2 receptor. These proteins are then identified by the immune system, which builds antibodies against them. The real concern is that these proteins could accumulate in the body, especially in regions of high concentration of ACE2 receptors, such as the gonads. The immune system then attacks the location where they accumulate. Then you could be dealing with an autoimmune condition. So yeah, Robert Malone speaks about this a lot as well. They actually put Robert Malone's podcast with Joe Rogan on Congressional Record. Let me just show you guys that. Troy Nails submitted the entire transcript of Joe Rogan Experience number 1757 with Dr. Robert Malone. Submitted the full transcript to Congressional Record because they were trying to silence Dr. Robert Malone so hard. So yeah, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about this paragraph, watch the Robert Malone podcast with Joe Rogan on Spotify. I believe that's the only place that it's still standing at the moment. Yeah, people need to stop. Wake up. The time is now. We separated from Great Britain for less than this. Way less than this. We didn't need to do anything. Lockdowns, masks, mass testing, vaccines, or quote vaccines. There are multiple therapeutic drugs that are at least effective, or at least as effective as vaccines are, or quote, should we say gene therapy. On an off-patent drug called ivermectin, also hydroxychloroquine, both used as a preventative measures. One of the most widely used drugs in the world, and is also able to reduce symptoms at any stage of the disease, including. Well, I didn't know that. I thought it was only a preventative measure, which I'm sure. Maybe that's just hydroxychloroquine because it's talking about ivermectin in this particular article there. So we're sharpening our tools, guys. We're not experts. We're not doctors. We're not lawyers. We're not attorneys. We're just doing our research and doing some free thinking. Thank you for joining me in this quest for knowledge. They are lying. They're lying. They're conspiring against our rights. It's Title 241. It's a conspiracy against our rights. It's deprivation of rights. We need to strip these guys of their titles and sue the ever-living out of them. So they're not really wanting to do more clinical safety studies. That's interesting, especially considering that there's investigations going on whether or not they were sweeping certain reactions or adverse reactions to their studies and their clinical trials for safety. These people are getting investigated for fraud due to their subversion of information and diluting the truth. Some people think that. You know, that's could be true, could not be true. But there's definitely something going on. It's really weird, and we've never seen anything like this, not to my knowledge, ever. But yeah, they keep showing Chris Rock and Will Smith slapping each other on stage, or at least Will Smith slapping him. They keep showing the Ukraine nonsense, and it's just smoke screens. It's time we bust out the biggest fans we can, blow away the smoke, and get down to freedom in this country. Wow, this is Carl. This is a really big article. I've been reading this for like an hour already, citing other references and stopping and highlighting certain segments of this. It's good stuff. And collectively, we need to do something unexpected. You know, that's part of why we are going to California, baby. So, back to the research. Can't get too distracted here. Again, thank you to everyone that's on this quest for knowledge with me. Thank you, Carl, for sending me this article. This article's 3 months old. I thought it was like posted a while ago. Shoot, I might have lost my spot. Yeah, we read a lot of this already. Oops. Oh, well, it's close to 3 months old, I guess, yeah. And it was updated March. So it's actually been updated relatively about 2 weeks ago. So yeah, this was published about 3 months ago, but it was updated about 3 months ago. So there's definitely some. That's probably why it's so long, because they're like, oh, if people get here, they need to read everything. So we're gonna try to find our spot. Excuse me there for that sneeze. Looking for my spot. Right here. Yeah, part of the exaggeration was the Cobra effect and the incentives. Actually, let's just go ahead and do this first. Wait, US. Part of it was this. Yeah, sure, we can talk about that real quick. So we'll highlight our spot. We can go talk about that real quick. Take a little break. So, the reasons why we're going to California is the California legislation. Again, they're trying to deputize the medical boards, giving them an authority to inspect businesses, including patient records. They are also requiring law enforcement officials to enforce public health orders. So you've got the medical board that can just probe any business's medical records and then report it back to authorities, who now are required to act on public health orders. Okay, so that's essentially deputizing medical boards. And then also, they're trying to suppress or drowned out doctors' voices, with the third to last one would reclassify sharing of COVID-19 misinformation by doctors, abbreviated doctors. Again, they spelled out the whole word misinformation with quotes. As unprofessional conduct resulting in disciplinary action. So what is that disciplinary action? Probably licenses getting revoked, slander through the media, funding taken away, just your reputation just destroyed, and maybe even fines and jail time. Actually, probably, if they're enforcing it by law, if they're trying to make this legislation law. Allows 12 years and older to consent to vaccines without parental consent or knowledge. You're going to be hearing that one a lot. That one is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Allows 12 years, kids the age of 12 years and older to consent to vaccines without parental consent or knowledge. What's going on in our country, guys? What's going on in the mini CCP of the United States, aka California? Wow. So there you go. Whoever wanted me to address that real quick, we're going back to that article. John, I don't know if your message is... You're going to get a timeout, bud. We don't need any spam in my chat. Sorry. Yeah. Alright, so I was catching up on my chat a little bit. It is extremely hard to sue the federal government, but luckily we have lots of things like the Nuremberg Code, the Declaration of Helsinki, the Belmont Report, the Constitution, and lots of other bills on our side advocating for our freedom and medical choice. It's so absurd that you should be happy or willing to let your economy and civil society be smashed for something which represents for almost everyone working a lower risk than influenza, but that's true. Given the virus represents at worst a slightly bigger risk to the old and ill than does influenza, and a less risk than for almost everyone else who's younger and fit, it was never necessary for us to have done anything. We didn't need to do anything. Lockdowns, mass testing, vaccines. There are multiple therapeutic drugs that are at least effective as vaccines are. An off-patent drug called ivermectin, one of the most widely used drugs in the world, is also able to reduce symptoms at any stage of the disease, including, because I read this already. But again, the reason why ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine was demonized is because there was no way they could get the emergency use authorization if there was a pre-existing treatment. There's no way they could have gotten the emergency use authorization if there was a pre-existing treatment. That's why ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine was demonized. There's something very, very nefarious at play here, and we need to laser focus on this, okay? Always question what the government tells you. Always question what the government tells you. This is such a big article. It's such a big article. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to post it in my chat. Okay, so if anybody wants to read that on their own accord, they can. I'm getting hungry. I need to eat. And I think I might go back to the Speedway here soon. But just as a refresher for anybody that wasn't here from the very beginning, we're going to LA and Sacramento. California, we love you. You are a conduit to these other states as far as this legislation that they're trying to pass in California. So please stand up for your rights, right? Don't give up. Don't give up at all. Don't give up the fight. Listen, we're coming to California for a reason, and these mandates that they're trying to make law are the reasons. So California, we need your help. All the fake news can get lost. That includes Zachary Petrizzo at the Daily Beast. Thank you, The Hill, for giving some decent coverage, objective coverage of our convoy. Dr. Lock 'em Up, thank you so much. Dr. Paul Alexander, for all your hard work and your dedication and your persistence throughout this fight. And I did call my representatives today, so if anybody would like to see what I had to say to them, although I'm still sharpening my tools and getting better with my articulation, I had them on record today and let them know that the conversation was being recorded and they had 30 days to respond to me via email. Don't get distracted by the fake news. Okay, we got to keep what we're fighting for at the forefront of our attention. We need to be sharing these bills they're trying to pass into law to everybody we know. Everybody we know. Share. I don't care if it's my videos. I don't care if it's somebody else's videos, as long as they're touching base on why we're going to California or sharing these specific bills. Just trying to get past the smoke screens of Will Smith smacking Chris Rock and the Ukraine nonsense, right? We got to get past the fake news. We got to stay united. We got to stand up for our rights. And California, you know how to party, so we're coming for you. Call your reps. Demand accountability. Put them on record. If anybody wants to start like a certified letter group or a certified letter department where we can verify that these senators are receiving our notice and opportunity statements requesting their position on the end of all mandates, please get in contact with me or other people within the convoy, or maybe even the organizers. This guy's getting a timeout because he is a troll. There is, in my opinion, a coordinated cyber attack on anything pertaining to getting our freedoms back in the COVID-19 response. If you don't believe me, I will show you again from Fauci and his goon squad themselves. They are requesting a quick and devastating published takedown of his premises, and that was sent October 8th. The next day, October 9th, they're publishing on it. Okay, so we need to get past the fake news and get to the core issues, which right now is the legislation they are trying to put in law in California. So California, we'll be seeing you soon. Hopefully you do not become a conduit state to these other states passing legislation like these tyrannical elected officials are trying to pass into law there. We'll see you soon.